It's the 19th of June 2024 and this is just going to be a really quick video today looking at Movis Lubricants. Movis Lubricants are a very rich business from Shropshire, Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury, Shropshire I should say, and these people are actually my landlords, my landlord as well. I've never actually met the man who owns it, but I've met people that he has designated to look after the property and to look after some of his other business ventures as well. So for those that don't know, Movis Lubricants are a company that are worth potentially hundreds of millions. I'm just guessing, but I'd say at least hundreds of millions just by looking at what they own, the land they own, and the factories and the offices and everything around Shrewsbury they own. I mean, they've got cares at homes, Movis Care, Movis Lubricants, and Movis a lot of other stuff. I'm sure they're into construction as well. I'm not 100% on that, like, but I know there's a lot of branches of Movis, and you know, they're a very big, rich company. So why am I talking about this? Well, today I'll get back from work late because I've been working miles away, and I check my mailbox. I open the mailbox up and there's a massive letter in the mailbox. So I open it, and this letter is a section 21 eviction notice essentially, and the reason it's a section 21 and not a section 8 is because it's through no fault of my own. So this just, you know, these have just decided they want the property back, and this is what they're going to do. They're just going to force it back from me, and they says I've got to be out for the 15th of August. Bearing in mind today's the 19th of June, that's less than 2 months to get out of the property. Now I'm working far away, and I've got 2 children. I can't afford to have the time off work because I've struggled to find work for most of this year. I've been in and out of work because construction's gone a little bit quiet. Well, very quiet actually, and you know, I've got other things to worry about. So, you know, I get this letter and this fumes me straight away, and this has sort of triggered this thing inside me where I think, you know what, I'll just explain what this landlord has been like since I moved in, because Movis Lubricants as a landlord, or Movis or whatever they call themselves, an absolute disgrace. The complete control freaks, the hypocrites, and they are, I mean, you know, there's no polite way of saying it. They're absolute scumbags. That's anything I can think of to say it. Now, I'm not just saying this because of what's happened today. I've done nothing but argue with them recently, and that's why I think they've sent me this notice. Just to clarify, like, every single month's rent has been paid on time, and there's been no damage to the property whatsoever. In fact, the property is much tidier now than when we first moved in. My children tidied all the garden up and everything. But Movis Lubricants actually use my garden as a smoking area. My landlord, his staff, use the garden as a smoking area. Now, I don't blame the staff for it, and I show my respect to the people that are smoking, because I'm a smoker as well. So if I was working there, I'd be coming over here for a fag as well. But every time I go into the garden, there's people in the garden having cigarettes. Now, is that typical landlord behaviour, let alone so-called, you know, professional business, you know, professional? I mean, that's very unprofessional the way I look at it. It's totally unprofessional to have your staff going in your fucking tenants' gardens to have a cigarette when you've got 3 or 4 properties on this street. Surely there's somewhere there they could go. Do you know what I mean? But that's not even the end of it. A few months ago, he come round knocking the door. Now, I always feed the birds. I put fat balls out for the songbirds, and I put seeds out for the pigeons. Now, there's a lot of pigeons in Shrewsbury, and that's why I put a few seeds out for them, because, you know, they've got to eat at the end of the day. So I don't, it don't bother me putting, and I like animals. I like doing things like that. I mean, I like feeding birds, and I like, you know, I always have. But he sends me a thing anyway. He tells me to stop feeding the birds, and he says the worst thing was, he said, was stop using the washing line. He come around the house moaning about a few things. He said, can you stop using the washing line? Now, when he said that, I lost it, and I said, you know what, just fuck off, just get away from me, I don't want to talk to you, because you're just being ridiculous. Why would I stop using the washing line? Obviously, if you've got washing that I need to dry, then I'm going to use a washing line to dry. That's what it's there for. I mean, is it stressing your staff out, them having to look at my washing when it's drying or something? I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Who has ever heard of a landlord telling people not to use the washing line, for fuck's sake? That's just my luck, that is, that I end up with people like this. Inconsiderate, money hungry, greedy as fuck scumbags. That's what Morris Lubricants are. And at the end of the day, I will get out of this property. I'm not going to get out in 2 months because that's too short, but I will get out as soon as I can. I wanted to get out anyway. I don't, you know, I mean, the location is the only reason I took this place, because it's nice and close to, for me to get to work and everything like that. You know, it's ideal location for me, and you know, it's a good location for me anyway. But these people are just an absolute nightmare to deal with. So they've given me until the 15th of August to get out of the property. Now, like I say, we've had disagreements about me using the washing line. I mean, whose landlord is ever telling them not to use a washing line? We've had disagreements about me feeding the birds. I continue to do both. I don't take no notice at the end of the day. If I want to use a washing line, I'll use a washing line. If I want to feed the birds, I'll feed the birds. In all fairness, it doesn't irritate me when I see birds in the back garden. I'll tell you what does irritate me: when I see people in the back garden who work for them parasites, Morris Lubricants, all the time, smoking cigarettes in the back garden because they don't want to smoke it in their own garden. They're just an absolute disgrace, this firm are. They're just absolutely parasitic. Now, I'm not going to get too much into it today. I'm going to see what happens next. I'm going to put this on the internet. I'm going to see what happens next. I'm going to send it on. And, you know, and also, to anybody who's listening or watching, you know, if you've got any advice, or if anybody's ever been through anything like this with a ridiculous landlord, then I'd like to hear your stories as well, because I've never been through anything like this with anybody. I mean, my last landlord was bad enough, but he had the opposite problem, you see. He was never there. I mean, they didn't do anything. I mean, the house was bloody falling down. I only moved into this property because Shropshire Council demanded that I move out of my last property because they said it was unsafe. And now I've been here 2 years, and now I've got to move again, and I am absolutely sick of moving house every few years. And every time you move house, it's like, you know, you just lose stuff. I mean, I don't know why, but stuff just goes missing. I mean, obviously I had stuff in storage for months, and, you know, so my last property was so dangerous that I couldn't even get the stuff out of the house, because it was actually so dangerous. Even the Sun newspaper reported it. They was worried that it was they actually shut the whole street down because they thought the house was going to collapse. And it was me who actually noticed it. Well, I say it was me who noticed it. It was me who reported it. It was my brother who noticed it. My brother pointed it out to me, so I reported it to the council, and that's when they come out and, in the panic, they demanded that I get out of the house and put me in a hotel. And then Shropshire Council sent me the hotel bill as well. You know, even though they demanded that I go in there, but I got a local MP on the case, and in all fairness, I didn't end up having to pay the hotel bill. But then you know, because I was in such a rush to get out of the hotel and to find somewhere else to live, I moved here. And when I get here, what happens? I'm here for 2 years. I end up with a total control freak as a landlord. I end up with people in the back garden smoking like chimneys, which again, like I say, I'm not blaming them for it. I'm a smoker myself. I mean, obviously, it's up to them if that's what they want to do, but Morris shouldn't be telling them to come over here to have a cigarette in my garden when they've got much more land than me. So they should be having cigarettes in their garden, or, you know, on their land. But obviously, no, Morris don't want that mess over there. They don't mind it being over here, but they don't want it on their side. Now, a couple of weeks ago, just last thing, they sent somebody to clean the garden. Now, it wasn't actually that messy. There was a few things that the neighbours, obviously the garden shared between 4 of us. None of the mess was mine. All that's mine downstairs is my toolbox and a few tools that I use for work. Now, instead of asking me what tools I need to keep and what tools I don't want to keep and everything, he actually just gets all my tools and takes them, just throws all my tools away. Honestly, these people are an absolute disgrace. They're so lucky that I'm busy at work at the moment and I haven't got time to actually do anything about it. But I won't be getting out in 2 months. I'll be getting out when I feel like getting out. And these people, Morris Lubricants, are absolute scumbags. That's the way I see it. Parasites and control freaks. That's all they've been since I moved in. I haven't missed a single rent payment, and I haven't made no mess or anything like that for them to complain about. That's why they've sent to section 21 and not a section 8. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you. I'm out.